Nightwing issue 19, Tim Seeley writing, and Javier Fernandez and Minkayu Zhang on art. So, yeah, this is obviously Damien's been kidnapped by Simon Hart, Dr. Hart, and we have Nightwing and Defacer impersonating a married couple, wanting a tour, or something to that effect.
He's posing as a travel blogger, like this pretentious, you know.
Of course he is.
I loved it.
Yeah, so they're doing that. They're trying to find where Hart is so they can get to Damien. This guy who's showing them around turns out to be a villain, and other assassins show up, and Nightwing and Defacer have to beat the crap out of them. Defacer's got like a rocket on her leg, so that's fun.
Yeah, it is pretty cool.
So that's pretty fun. They get to Tomb, and Deathwing's there, and after Nightwing cuts him with the magic blade thing that you get cut with that shows you your future and all the possible futures, Deathwing breaks down, Defacer stays with him. Nightwing continues looking and finds Hart, and it seems at the end of the issue that he's jumped the gun and he's already made his sacrifice of Damien. Like, 'cause he's holding him till dawn, because that's when the
Robin dies at dawn. That was the arc, right?
Oh yeah. Was it? I thought it was Nightwing Must Die.
Yeah, no. It's like a famous from the Silver Age. Robin dies at dawn.
Oh right.
That's what Morrison pulled that from.
Do you know what, one of the things I really loved about this issue was I think it was last issue of the issue before that it was calling back to where he kicked the thing that was going to land on Damien. It was really heavy, and he was like, I probably shouldn't be kicking this. But here he did the same with Defacer, where he runs in and just grabs it anyway.
Yeah.
The big rock thing falling.
And his ankle cracks, but it looks of it.
Yeah.
I can almost feel the hurt as he was holding it. And you get that close up of the ankle, and it's like a glass shattering over the top of it. It's like, ah.
Yeah.
I feel the pain. My favourite stuff in this issue, actually, in terms of the art, was probably whenever it's in the dark. See when he's like wandering down the dark corridors of the tomb, and it's like he's got his flare or whatever it is, he's light to light his way. I thought that looked really great. I like that stuff.
Yeah, that was pretty great. There was stuff in the fight with Deathwing later on where it did these, the extra panels of impact where it would go black and white with just a splash of color. Really reminded me of what Sorrentino did in the Green Arrow one with Lemire.
Yeah.
It was very reminiscent of that.
Well, that's very Lemire Sorrentino. They've done that in other books too, in other companies. It's like a signature, but it's good to see it. I like that. It shows the force of impact.
Yeah, it's a nice little thing. I'll be happy to see that in a few other places.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's really good. And also I like it when Nightwing's going down those stairs with his torch, and it's sort of lighting everything up kind of blue like his symbol. It's all these like Daltrons of Nightwings and Robins. It's like super horror movie creepy, like full on.
Yeah, because they're just standing there. They're not doing anything.
Yeah, it really feels like he's descending into hell. Which he kind of is, because it's like a satanic cult leader he's going to find at the bottom of it.
Yeah, because that's what we see at the beginning is Hertz fully on sacrifice somebody.
Yep.
There.
That's a great page. It's probably the best page in the book, actually, is when he's like, oh, I need to give a new weapon. I need to forge a new weapon. Because he's talking about how you come back from the dead when you're immortal if you get a little bit of blood, and he's making all these sacrifices. And he's like, oh, I need a new weapon. And you turn the page and it's a giant like bird, and it's blue. And he's like, yes, the Nightwing. And it's like, just...
Yeah. I loved actually just the page before that reveal with the dagger, the knife kind of blending into the panels. That's the layout. And the faces are just inside the slivers as it gets smaller. It's fantastic.
Yeah, some good layouts. I think... I think my general criticism of the art in Nightwing, and I've liked it for the most part, but remember when we first got the Fernandez, we said, oh, it's really good, but it's a little bit pale at times. Like the brights are always, when it's just all brights, it's a lot too much. And I think not as much of this in this issue, but I think it sort of accents that problem for me, where I really like this stuff when it's dark, when it's in dark places, when it's at night time, and and I like that so much, and it makes me think of those other stuff when it's a little bit too bright. But this issue obviously doesn't suffer from that much. No. But yeah, so Deathwing's still around. He's broken though. He's like almost see himself what he is, and like how, and that's why Defacer kind of like sympathizes with him, because she recognizes the turmoil, and I'm curious to see where this goes. Is he someone who's going to like is he going to flip flop? Is he going to like go evil again, and like maybe they can get through to him? Is he going to become like a almost like Harvey Dent type of villain for
I
Nightwing?
can see, obviously, DeFacer, her whole thing since we introduced is running, well, not running, but being part of that group.
Yeah, rehabilitation, we'll call it.
Yeah, I can see him maybe joining this group, perhaps.
Maybe. And then we have Deathwing. Maybe you should change that name, buddy, because
He might change it at that point.
sounds a bit intimidating. Just FYI. I'm Deathwing. Now, so obviously at the end, Nightwing sort of runs towards Damien, and he sort of stumbles, and it looks like he falls into the darkness. And I think this is more metaphorical than it is.
Yeah, he looks
literal.
like falls into the ground.
Yeah. But I think it's a case of he's going to be out, and maybe the next issue will largely take place in his head, kind of thing, because it's talking about clawing back from the darkness. So I feel like we're going to go on a sort of more mystical journey in the next issue, which would be my guess.
Which is cool, because we were so grounded, early on. Then now we get to, do the whole dagger that lets you see versions of yourself and potential. And
Do you know what I think's funny? I think when the Daltrons first showed up, and I liked when they turned out to be Daltrons, but at first it was like, oh, we've got an evil Nightwing and an evil... Like, we're just going down like the evil versions path. But because we keep getting them, because we get things like him walking down the corridor, and there's just repeats of them all, and it's really creepy. And the fact that we might get into like his head next issue, and he has to like fight even more weird versions of them, I feel like I've liked it more as it's went on, because it feels like this real like perverse, demonic, like taking of who he is and turning it around on him. Like I feel like it feels super sadistic, and as we've got more of the actual story, it's justified more of it. Whereas when Deathwing first showed up, I was it's just a guy in a Nightwing costume being evil, which is fine, but it's very comic book.
But it's definitely got more interesting as it's gone on.